Good evening and welcome to The Bottom Line. News about your neighborhood and its condition. News that will allow you to make informed decisions. From downtown to Dover and everywhere in between, it's news that you can truly use. It benefits the residents of Wilmington and Newcastle County. News that's real, relevant, revealing. Yes, it's The Bottom Line. Again, good evening. My name is Nicole DeSarette, and I am so excited that you have tuned in to this edition of The Bottom Line. Before the camera started rolling, we were just chattering here in the studio, and come to find out, the members of the Bottom Line crew look forward to being in your living rooms each and every Monday night from 8 to 9. And we don't want to take that for granted because you could be doing something else, being somewhere else, but we're glad that you are with us tonight. It is February 29th, Leap Day. So let me start off by saying happy birthday to all of they're called leaplings or leapers, a little bit of trivia in case you're ever playing Jeopardy. People who are celebrating their birthday today. It was a beautiful day, my goodness. Spring, less than 3 weeks away. We had a little taste of it today. Hopefully you had an opportunity to get out, enjoy the sun, enjoy the breeze, get your walking in or whatever. I think we'll get a little more of a taste tomorrow, and then it's back to a feeling of winter. So tomorrow is March 1st, so we know March is so unpredictable, so take advantage when the weather is very, very nice. I just want to say thank you for your support from last week. One of our guests was Joyce Dungy Proctor, and she talked about a program that she is hosting on Friday, I believe it's March 11th, and it'll be at the Christiana Hilton. And she said before she got to her car, people called in with sponsorships. So a little later, I will give you that information, and perhaps you'd like to join the effort. She's doing a program to help people further their job skills. And I'll give you some more information. I need to check back in on my notes. But just the fact that you responded so quickly, we so appreciate it. The Bottom Line crew is here, and we are ready to go. We are headed by the captain, Charles Potter. We have Elder Ty. He's in Studio B. We're going to get it right today. We have Shakeem, Deneen, and we have some special guests. So again, you won't want to miss one bit of this show. Stay tuned for more of The Bottom Line. We're going over to Studio B. Take it away, Elder Ty. Looking good.
Boy, I'm telling you, the hate is just up to here, up to here, up to here. Bless you, everybody, everywhere. Thank you so much for joining The Bottom Line. Thank you, Nicole. Loving that dress. I'm telling you, you getting it in, baby. I'm not a leaper, but I thank everybody, Facebook, Twitter, for sending me the happy birthday wishes. And I'm not talking about how old I am. I'm just saying I'm crossing over, baby, but it feels so good. It feels so good. Incidentally, my people got with their people. I'm going to get me a teleprompter soon because I just hired me a new manager tonight. She's behind the camera. God bless you. Go ahead and work on them a little bit for me because you know our captain's cheap. I need a teleprompter, but it's for the mean in between time and keep my job, so I got to read from the paper. The news is, congratulations to Chris Rock and my main man, Shakeem. He's going to talk a little bit about that. But Chris Rock came out, did his thing for the Oscars, and guess who was there? None other than our VP. Woohoo! Yes, sir, buddy. Hollering about Lady Gaga, let me bring her out doing his thing. So Shakeem's going to talk about that in just a little bit in other news. Senator Carper speaking out and speaking up. You go, boy, we got your back. And Senator Carper said it's dead wrong for the Republicans, right? The Republican senators to say, no, we're not going to do it. We just not going to do it. I don't care what the president does. If President Barack Obama, if he puts in somebody to take the seat, you know what seat I'm talking about, right? The Supreme Court justice seat. If he does that, we just not going to move. How dare they talk about they not going to move. And then Senator Carper says, that's wrong. If President Barack Obama puts in a nominee as a selection for this year, then you all should take it to the floor. Woo! Good God Almighty, talk about the rumble. It's on. Meanwhile, Newcastle County Police charges a fourth suspect in connection with the double homicide that took place at the Palladium a couple years ago. 4 people. You remember this was a gruesome shooting where an auto car owner, shop owner, and his wife was killed. But thank God, way to go, Newcastle County Police. And then in other news around the state, NAACP and IMAC, the Interdenominational Ministers Action Council, took the heat to the concrete today, all out in front of the governor's office. Oh, Lord. They talking about state racism all across, racism across state employment agencies. And IMAC, NAACP, and a lot of folks want to see and say, continue to say, that this is Delaware, is no place for that thing, that ugly thing called racism. And they're not going to stop until the governor starts firing some people. So keep your ears open. We'll tell you what's going on. We keep the heat coming at you right here on the bottom line. Incidentally, in other news around this state, let's see. You thought that the shootings was over. 3 people just got shot here in the city, and 1 was killed. So we're praying for the family of those who were shot. We're also praying for the one who died. Senseless violence has got to stop, and we're carrying on. Thank you, everybody, over at the Porter Center. We had a wonderful meeting over there the other day with all of a lot of the stakeholders, shouldn't say all of them. Connections was there. Hicks Anderson was represented. The Porter Center was represented. Dwight Davis came in. He's chair of the Civic Association, and he began to give the folks at Connections some history, and we mediated, and we talked about what we can do to stop some of this senseless violence. Amen, somebody ought to be jumping, because even in the midst of this storm, God is working it out. Incidentally, yesterday, Bishop Weeks, the apostle, my bishop, y'all ought to be making some noise for your pastor and your bishop, had a wonderful day. It was a celebration yesterday, and we thank, of course, all of the dignitaries that stopped by. Lisa Blunt Bradley, who's running for Congress. Also, Justin Wright and a couple others stopped in. But the thing was, we were charged to go get folks who were unchurched. It was called the Harvest Celebration. Let's sow a seed, not to the people who come to church every Sunday, but the people who never get to know what church is all about. It was about 1,500, 2,000 people there yesterday. The way to go, New Destiny. I'm not saying that because they're my church. I'm just saying it because they do what I do. They took the heat to the streets. Amen. I'm about to wrap it up because, am I getting a signal from my manager? No, I got to keep it going. I got to keep it going. My manager's saying, go ahead, man. If you keep doing it like this, I'm going to make sure you get that prompter, boy. I'm going to make sure you get that teleprompter. While you thought the violence was only going on in the city, and while you thought the shootings were only going on in the city, right? While you thought that all of that was happening right here in Wilmington, 3 armed men forced their way into a UD student's home, right there, 200 Main Street. My God, we got to get on our jobs, y'all. Just too many guns, too much shooting. And then, as I close it out tonight, the state news journals reporting that the SLEEF money, and that's the money that the police use when they confiscate a house. You know, if you're doing something incorrect, like you're breaking a little laws, you're throwing rocks at the penitentiary, you get caught, and they take your house, right? Or they catch you with some cash, or they catch you with some other stuff. The police keep that. It's called SLEEF monies. Well, certain folks are saying that the police and the prosecutors get to use this money any kind of way they want to use the money, and that's not right. There should be some oversight. Well, this reporter would tell you, I've gotten a little of that SLEEF money when I was doing Churches Take a Corner. Yes, I did. Don't get quiet on me now. But I didn't get cash. I got computers and I got walkie-talkies to hit the streets, so it helped me. Now, I don't know nothing about the other money because they made me do reports. And if T got to do reports, y'all got to do reports, and everybody got to be accountable. Amen? I'm going to take it over to the state rep with the bottom line and that half of a round table, because the round table's coming back. Don't move, because it's going to be hot, 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 hot. Hey, can y'all get my manager? I don't get no water. No, don't do that. Trump waiting on me.
Welcome to the bottom line, to the real news, right? Shaheem, not Shaheem. What's going on? You know, we got to say happy birthday to Ty. He's getting older, but he's looking younger. He's older in age, but he's looking younger. I know what it is. He's not getting those suits from Woolworths no more. That's just a joke. We just get around all the time. Ty's my man. But on a serious note, we enjoy coming into your home each and every Monday night from 8 to 9 o'clock. If you have news, you can either Facebook us like a lot of people do, email it to us, because this is the news that you can use. The News Journal is not going to talk about a lot of things that we're going to be talking about. First, let me give you a quick update on the Wilmington Education Forum and Commission. Last week, there was a very, very important meeting down at the General Assembly. It was held in, I can't actually remember, the Townsend building. I mean, the place was packed. The meeting should have been someplace else where you could have had a lot of people in. A lot of people had to stand outside the building. And what happened was the State Board of Education was charged with either, number one, accepting the plan for redistricting the city schools, or number two, or rejecting it. But guess what? They came up with something a little different. They decided to put two impediments. One was to say, we will allow you to move forward, number one, if you have funding. Number two, if the Christiana School District did the priority plans. But before they did that, there was a vote taken on the plan directly itself. They voted no. I was ashamed of some people who voted no. Many of you know some of the people on the board. You have Mr. Hefferman, he's on the board. Coverdale's on the board. Ms. Linda Gray is on the board. She heads that, and several other people. But when it came back for the second vote, they passed it with those two contingencies. There was a meeting held by the commission task force last Wednesday. We debated the issue back and forth, and then we voted it out 15-6 to send it right back to the State Board of Education, because they got enough information, number one, to know that the state, we're looking to do the funding. The governor put in $6 million for funding, and then come to find out the Christiana School District had already did their priority plan. So those two items should come off the table. We should be able to move forward with this. This is very, very important to the city of Wilmington, because we have been under the DSEG order for a long time. We want to bring our young people back together in a cohesive group so that we can start working with them, and we want to eventually get down to a Wilmington school district. Next, I want to talk about the Joint Finance Committee, and I know I got my good friend here, and we're going to talk about some issues. Right now, the Joint Finance Committee is down in Dover, and what they're talking about is how money is going to be allocated. Now, in a lot of nonprofits, this is the time, actually you should apply before November if you're a nonprofit to get money from the state. So you got people throughout the state who come down there, get money all the time. It could be from $10,000 to a couple $1 million, you know, so a lot of organizations are getting money. Now, and I usually, in my district, I always want to make sure the 1212 gets their money, the Powell Center. I got the One Village Alliance, that's with Chandra Pitts. I got several other programs that I support, and I support my good friend Ty Johnson, and he knows that. But so if you want to get involved in that, we want to have a series at the Powell Center so people could understand, how do I get this funding from the state? Now, I sit on the Joint Finance Committee, and we allocate money for capital programs. I set aside $200,000 for the port expansion so that they can do a study with $200,000 to make sure where we want to expand the port, that particular land is clean. So we need an environmental study. The city set aside $150,000, the county $150,000, and I, as your state rep, set aside $200,000. So we want to make sure we have a clean envelope so we could get these jobs. We're looking to expand the port to get 17,000 jobs and some spin-off jobs. So I'm going to give you some more updates shortly, but I wanted to talk to my good friend Shaquem. I got to say it right. Now, him and I don't get a lot of chance to sit and talk on a round table, and I know we're going to talk about the presidential race pretty soon, but
Yeah,
I want to congratulate you for the great job you did going to Flint, Michigan,
thank you.
and you and the other young people. So what else is happening with that?
So we are now accepting donations.
You are.
We are accepting donations of water. We're accepting cash.
Okay.
We have a GoFundMe page that'll be
GoFundMe,
GoFundMe.
tell them where to.
It'll be posted on our Bottom Line News page on Facebook. Also on my
Okay.
personal page on Facebook. It will be posted tonight.
Tonight.
Tonight we
Okay.
finally got all of our players involved, and now we're trying to do something different where we got to interact with a lot of the families up there. We got a lot. We got to interact with a couple of people at the senior centers and a couple of people that even lived in the projects, and we
Well,
realized.
what were they telling you? You said a little bit, but how did you feel by going down there to interview people, knowing that the people were distressed, the water's contaminated? How did you feel?
I honestly didn't have all the information I needed to before I went up there.
Okay.
And I was thinking, okay, this is a situation that's been going on for a couple of months. No big deal. It should be blow over. It's not really, I'm just going up here to assist.
Right.
Come to find out, it's been going on for 3 years.
Right.
And then on top of that, it may be a 10 to 15-year project, and it's a $440 million project.
Outrageous.
And they don't have the money to even start. So the 10 to 15 years hasn't even started yet. So it's with that information, it's kind of it's disheartening because you have to look at these people on a constant basis.
It's in the black community.
Yes.
Right. And usually if it was another community, money would move there quickly. I know
Easily.
the mayor wants to do something, but I know the president is waiting on to see what the governor does. But this is a case where I would expect President Obama just step in and do what needs to get done.
See, the thing is, he can't allocate money to one specific city. So he did allocate $86 million to the state of Michigan.
So did it.
So
That's
it's,
correct.
It's
right.
going to be broken up city to city.
Right.
But the thing is, one thing that Detroit was talking about was their money being redirected.
Right.
So hopefully that works. I'm just hoping that they get all the money they need to fix this problem. But you got elderly people there that's being affected on a daily basis. Come on, you got to think about those people who are disabled, who
Right.
can't move around,
Right.
who already are.
So people are still drinking the water.
Yeah, people
Right,
are still not necessarily drinking the water, but they're still using the water to take baths and stuff, even though it's breaking their skin out. It's
Right.
causing them to have rashes and different diseases. And
You know what shocked me when you guys, and I didn't even consider it, when you talked about the number of stillborn children. I didn't consider that at all.
Yeah, I didn't honestly. Kids are being born still in the sack,
Oh, wow.
and it's crazy because it's now called a deformity. It's not necessarily a disease. So with the people stating it differently, it's supposed to be a better situation. No, that makes it even worse because now you're not even giving a child a chance to live. You're pretty much setting them up for failure from the jump street.
Now, you wanted to say a couple things about what took place with the what awards were the other night. I don't look at a lot of these award
the
shows. 'Cause
Oscars.
The Oscars. Okay, come on, get to it.
So Chris Rock was the host of the Oscars, and one of his main statements was, "You're darn right, Hollywood is racist."
Right.
And you know
Okay.
what? And honestly, I see it now.
Right,
Because before I was like, okay, these movies, they're nice, they popping, me as a youngin', I really
Yeah.
didn't know, that there was a big difference in racism because I'm
Right.
thinking, okay, that was
Everything's
years
all
ago.
good, right,
Everything,
uh-huh.
but I'm now seeing it fully in front of me, like these people are not really understanding what they're doing and how they're impacting other people. Now I do see why Atlanta is now called the Black Hollywood.
Well, tell me some of the main statements that you wanted to talk about.
Stacey
that
Dash.
people said.
what was up with her statement? Like,
Now, who is Stacey Dash so everybody knows who she is? Is she an actor or what is
she's
her
an actress.
claim to fame?
We don't really claim her anymore, but she's
Is she the one that says she's not black? Or yeah, okay.
She's another Raven Simone, I should say.
Or what about what's the judge's name? Thomas? What's the judge on the Supreme Court?
what's his
who
name?
just said something in 10 years. He's never said anything in 10 years. Clarence.
Clarence,
Well,
yes.
his name is Clarence too. But go ahead.
But yeah, like so Stacey Dash, she came on the show and the only thing she said was, "Happy Black History Month,"
And left.
and left.
Okay. All
And it was so awkward. A whole hush fell over the whole audience. And it was just crazy because this is the one person that we, as the black community,
Right.
don't really fool with. Like, we don't really connect with her because she doesn't see it from our point of view.
Okay. So as a whole, what did you think of the Oscars? Good,
I think it was a
bad,
joke.
or it was a joke.
It was a joke.
Okay. So waste of time.
Yes.
Okay. I need to say one other thing about when we were talking about news, and Reverend Ty, you know, who has a new agent.
Yes.
He wants more money. You know, we're paying him too much now, but he wants more money. You know, he failed to mention that, you know, the city had asked for help. And he talked about the 4 shootings, and shootings are still going on. The state, we offered $1.5 million, which is still sitting out there for the mayor to take. The mayor was concerned with the fact that we were going to try the metropolitan government. The state never said anything about taking over the city at all. So it won't be metropolitan government. The money is needed to help the city right now, and the mayor should have the state police, the county police, come back in to help the city. But, you know, we're getting ready to go to a break because we got a big interview going on over there with Nicole. Then we're going to come back with Deneen, and we're going to talk about whether or not a woman could be president. And we're going to talk about our main man, Donald Trump, who gets on the airplane. Is that what they were saying? So we got a lot to talk about. So stay tuned to The Bottom Line. We'll be right back.
Bottom line. I tell you, Elder Ty has warmed up this chair for me, and we're just going to keep it moving. I wanted to clarify the announcement that I made a little earlier. I got all of my facts straight. I tried to do it by memory, and why was I trying to do that? But on March 11th, that's a Friday, Joyce Dungy Proctor is hosting an event at the Christiana Hilton from 9 to 12. It's called Accelerate Your Job Search. The cost is $49.99, and she will give you the 10 top tools needed to market yourself. If you are looking for a new job, or if you're looking for a move within your company and you want to know how to craft your resume, if you want to practice some interviewing skills, this is a place for you to be. Joyce shared that she is doing on-the-spot makeovers, people's resumes, their interviewing skill. So definitely an event that you don't want to miss. If you would like some more information, give Joyce a call, 302-438-8478. When she was here last Monday, she said she has some scholarships available. I don't know what the status of that is at this point, but it's worth giving her a call. Again, that number, 302-438-8478. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing you to our next guest. She is the insurance commissioner for the state of Delaware. And I'd like to welcome to the Bottom Line studio, Karen Weldon Stewart.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. And, you know, when we talk about the bottom line, we really want to present to the viewing audience information that they can use. So when you hear the term, the insurance commissioner for the state of Delaware, you may think, that has nothing really to do with me. I'm here in Wilmington. Why should I care? Why should I listen? Trust me, her job is really about you. So we want you to stay tuned. We want you to get a pen out, because we're going to give you some numbers that you may need to refer to from time to time. So again, welcome to the show. And how about if you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for having me. I was elected insurance commissioner in 2008 and took office in 2009. Before that, I worked from 1989 to 1993 as a deputy with the Insurance Department of Delaware, and then I worked for insurance commissioners around the country, such as Texas and Utah and different states. And I started the International Association of Insurance Receivers in 1991. So I have a very strong background in insurance regulation, which is what my job is. I didn't work for what I call the dark side for the insurance industry. I've always worked for the insurance regulations and for insurance commissioners. I'm on a number of committees for the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, and also the governor of Delaware has me serving on a number of committees, such as the Healthcare Commission, the State Employees Benefit Committee. I'm also on Deferred Compensation Committee. So there's a lot of committees I'm on for this state, for the employees of the state and the people of Delaware. And we're trying to, particularly through the Healthcare Commission, try to find ways to cut the cost of health care in Delaware, because Delaware is one of the most expensive states in the country for health care. In fact, our hospitals run 25% higher than other states, and that affects the cost of our premiums.
Okay.
And in the most recent report, Delaware ranked 4th in the country for the cost of prescriptions.
Wow.
So when you add all that up, our automobile insurance, our workers' compensation, so many of our insurances are impacted by the cost of health care, that it does make some of our premiums higher. However, with homeowners, Delaware ranks 7th lowest in the country, and we've been in the bottom 10 for a number of years. And that's not just for 50 states, that's for 56 jurisdictions. Realize Delaware has, the country has the District of Columbia plus 5 territories. So we rank 7th amongst all of those.
So in some areas, Delaware is very expensive in terms of insurance premiums, and then in other areas, the state is low.
Yes.
And our viewing audience, I know that they have homes, they have cars, they have health care. So that's why I'm saying that what her office does really does apply to you. So her office is designed to protect, advocate, inform consumers of their rights and options when it comes to insurance.
Yes, and let me give you an example. A lady called our office a few years ago. She did not get her driver's discount, her defensive driving discount. It was a $45 discount.
Right.
One lady made a call, and we took it so seriously, and we do every call that we get, that we checked into it. And we found out that that company not only did not give her a discount, they didn't give anybody a discount, and it went on for 3 years. So that company had to refund all those policyholders the money, plus we levied a fine against them. So, and just recently I levied some large fines against Blue Cross Blue Shield of Delaware and Aetna for not paying claims timely. And that was over $500,000. So this is what we do.
Right.
So your call is very important. You may not think it's important, but it is. It helps us to either look at maybe changes in legislation or regulations or bulletins, or to actually take action against a company.
And the bottom line with that, Karen, is if you don't know that your call can make a difference, you may not even know that there's an entity that you can call.
That's correct.
So at the bottom of the screen, you see information about how you can contact the Insurance Commissioner's Office. That telephone number, 302-674-7300, and their website is listed as well. Now, you stated earlier that you received the position in 2008, but started working. You were elected in 2008, started working in 2009. So you're approaching a 7th year anniversary. As you think about your time in this position, what stands out in your mind as major accomplishments that you're very proud of?
I'm very proud of that we've put on our website more transparency. We redesigned our website. We've done more outreaches. And in fact, our recoveries for policyholders, in the last 2 years, for policyholders from companies that did not respond to the policyholders for their claims, we collected $4 million for policyholders in Delaware, and that's money we put in their hand. Actually, what has been happening since I became commissioner, we are running 28% higher than previously for recoveries for policyholders. So imagine when you're frustrated with the insurance company, who do you go to? Well, you call the insurance department, and we advocate for you. And it has been really working successfully. I mean, to be actually every year 28% higher than previously is really quite wonderful. And I feel that's a great achievement for our office. We've collected monies for the fire and ambulance services. We've given them $247 million over the last 7 years. And for the state, we've collected $653 million. And also, the state has now become the 10th largest state in the country for written premium. Nationwide, when I came in as insurance commissioner, Delaware ranked 17th with $7 billion in premium. And now we're 10th with $553 billion in premium.
Wow. Wow. I hope that you are getting the picture that the insurance commissioner's job is very important. And based on the things that you share with our audience, you are doing those things that will impact our communities,
Yes.
whether it's from giving back to the fire department and the ambulance fund, whether it's getting somebody a refund. So the insurance department, definitely a department you want to be familiar with. I'll give you that number again, 302-674-7300. And Karen, thank you for the work that you have done in this office, and the work that we know that you will continue to do on behalf of the residents of Delaware. So thank you again.
Thank you so
And
much for
hopefully we'll have
having
a chance to have you back on at another time.
Thank you. Thank
Great.
you so much.
Stay tuned for more of The Bottom Line. We're getting ready to go over to Studio A for our roundtable discussion. You won't want to miss it.
Wow, what an awesome and informational session. I hope you guys were taking your notes about that insurance premium thing. I mean, I think that's a pretty important topic, wouldn't you say? So here we are at the round table, ready for a hot discussion. And what else to discuss than the presidential race, right? If you guys have been paying attention to anything, please let it be the presidential race. So before we jump in and we start talking about the candidates and what they're saying and who we're going for, let's just talk about a few facts, okay?
Facts, not opinions.
Right, facts. All right, let's talk about our current president, President Obama. When he was sworn into office, round of applause in the studio for President Obama. When he was sworn into office, he was pretty much walking into what, a Great Depression, right? Our economy was pretty much on the brink of that.
That's right.
And so millions of jobs were lost. Over 5 million homes were lost by Americans. Our auto industry pretty much collapsed, okay? And so many other things took place during that. Now, when we reflect over the last almost 8 years that he's been in office, we see that he's pretty much successfully turned the economy around, right? We've had 70 straight months of private sector job
That's right.
creation,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Which is phenomenal.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. So we've had
Facts.
facts. 14.1 jobs have been created by businesses. That means our unemployment rate has taken a dive,
Yes,
correct?
yes, that's
okay,
right.
and then the auto industry has actually had its best year ever very recently.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
so hats off to President Obama and everything that he's done. So now the question that we have to ask
Can I say
ourselves,
something about
absolutely.
our wonderful president? And this is a leap year. This is the last day of Black History Month for this year. And this will be the last year during Black History Month that President Obama will be the president.
That's a good
right?
point.
So we want to make sure we recognize him. And there are only 2 presidents in the past 40 years who have reduced the deficit.
And
President Obama is one, and Bill Clinton is the other.
Yep.
Now, and as you remember, when Bush was in, gas prices were at 5.11.
Mm-hmm.
Gas prices are so low today. I'm just filling up
146.
all the time.
Filling up every other day.
So, you know, these are the facts and not opinions. You
That's
know,
right.
people, when you hear people say, well, he's not doing this, and when you hear people talk about, let's make America great, America is great. So,
That's right.
I don't want to just,
No, I totally agree with that. I was just reading the campaign for Donald Trump, and it says, let's make America great again.
again,
But isn't America great right now?
it is.
Okay.
America
So,
is great. Right
so
now.
to him, America being great probably is $5.25 on gas again.
Right.
Or,
But says the person whose interpretation of that is building a wall and not a
Yes.
bridge.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, you know, and I'm gonna tell you, when we talk about economics, and he's supposed to be a businessman, right? He wants to spend at least $10 billion on a wall. Okay, it's gonna be 10 foot. Okay, I'm gonna send a couple people down to Goodwill's and buy 12-foot ladders for $4 and climb the wall. So, what's that gonna say to you?
Right.
You know, so what a waste. What a waste. So,
Absolutely. So when we take a look at our front runner,
okay. Who's
okay,
that?
Democratic front runner Hillary
Hillary.
Clinton, current.
I'm with her all the way.
Okay.
All
All right. So
right.
we know your position. So Elder Ty, we know you believe that all of this is just a competition for. What do you say it is? A competition for
Don't tell me he's feeling the burn.
No,
Well,
popularity contest.
that's what it, look. And in all honesty, when you look at how Donald Trump has been allowed to change and transform American politics by the stuff that he's spewing out is just totally unbelievable.
Gutterish.
It's unbelievable and unimaginable.
Right.
Now, but it speaks to the type of folks that we've allowed to get to the main stage and take the mic. It's purely entertainment.
Absolutely.
In my own just small opinion. Now, when you have a guy like Lindsey Graham, a senator, who says it's a fact, he said, listen, Hillary Clinton will win, and she will be the first female president of the great United States simply because my party has become has went bat booty. I can't say the ASA. I can't say the ASA.
Okay.
He said we have become bat booty crazy. Now that's a Republican senator who speaks to the disarray that is going on in that party. And
Horrible.
this is no like offense to my great friend Cal.
Well, we're going to make it great again. We're going to win. We're going to win. Did you see the polls the other day? Our poll numbers are better than
Right,
anybody.
right.
I can do this all day with no substance and still vote for me. And remember, I want to make America great again because I want to put you back where you're supposed to be. Is that slavery?
Well,
Huh?
when you look at the fact that the folks are so afraid that,
Fear factor.
that our president may nominate someone and they may not have control of the Supreme Court for years to come. It's not about control. It's about who do we feel will do this office justice.
It build upon
Who-
what's
who-
already been, the
absolutely,
foundation
who
that's
will
been
do
laid.
the office justice, and who ultimately does the people justice. It's
Absolutely.
got nothing to do with the party, because the president said he would
I need you to read some things to me, too, when you
consider
get a chance.
a Republican anyway. He
Sure.
said he said he would consider a Republican. He didn't say I'm going to put a Democrat in. He
But
didn't
that was
say
a strategic move by the president. The
Yeah, he
guy is brilliant, you know.
Yeah,
and so
Absolutely.
now let's put Loretta Lynch in. But you wanted to say Hillary. I believe the time is right for a woman to be president. And Hillary, she has the skills, she has the history. I mean, she's well-rounded, and all of these shots they taken at her about the emails and everything else, and then they even to say she should have left her husband. I think that is a courageous woman to stick with her husband through thick and thin. That's what you're supposed
But
to
that's
do.
such an emotional
Isn't it?
way to attack her
Right,
because she
yeah.
is a woman, so they
Right.
feel,
Yeah.
But that didn't move her. I
No.
mean, because, you can say what you want, but Ms. Clinton, Secretary Clinton, Senator
Secretary
Clinton of these United States,
That's right,
is a
yeah.
very shrewd woman, and she's a very accomplished woman.
Yes, she
So
is.
Absolutely.
You
she
cannot
is.
take what she does for granted. You
And
can't-
that's why we have
who
to stay
she
focused
is-
on the facts.
Yeah, you can't take who she is for granted. She's one of the most. Has been one of the most impactful secretaries of the United States.
Absolutely.
She was certainly an impactful senator. She certainly understands what it means not to be derailed. Her marriage was not derailed because of some infidelity stuff that was going on with her husband. She didn't get out there and start hollering, well, I'm gonna leave you, Bill, and I'm gonna hit you on top. You come down this White House hall tonight, I'm gonna smack you crazy. You never heard no crazy stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's
It's a
focused.
little bit of a circus is what happened with
She's
Trump and his
focused.
campaign.
One thing I want to say about Hillary Clinton is that she's one of the strongest, if not the strongest people that's right now in the race. And also, she is a woman of her word. Because if you think about it, a woman who gets stick by her husband through going through that situation in the public eye, that's a strong woman. And then on top of that, she's a woman of her word, because when you take the vows and you said for better or worse, in sickness and in health, she did not say, oh, since you did this, I am now done with you.
To death.
Listen.
She
you
kept
part.
her word and said
All
for
the
better
way.
or worse. And when Bill Clinton did his dirt, she still stayed by him, stuck by him, and still to this day will speak up for him.
So
How
the
about-
question, go ahead.
Okay, how about the Donald Trump and Rubio scenario, which is
Yeah.
crazy? Hillary to beat either one of those. Let them bring Trump on, and because Marco Rubio, he's had enough of Donald Trump's stuff. You're gonna read us some of those little things they're saying about each other. I mean, it has got so low. You see how low can you go? Not lower than the Republican Party. So that's a new low, because they're saying things just are outrageous. Not anybody. It's not dignified for anybody running for president in the
Absolutely.
United States.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and get some snippets from you, but then I have a question for everyone.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
While he's looking, we
Okay,
can-
I mean, it's a simple question.
Sure, go ahead.
Are we ready for a woman to be in office? And I pose that question simply because when you talk about the relationships between China and other countries, and how they, or Islamic countries, and how they perceive women in powerful positions,
Right.
especially in government.
I wanted you to
Well, you
define.
had some other countries who've had women at the leadership.
Okay.
And we're supposed to be so progressive, but we're going to be last and having a woman, basically last, as president of the
And I
United
think that's
States.
important to address, simply because we are here to inform the public
That's correct.
Right.
of
yes.
why a certain candidate was probably be the best,
Well, listen to
pick
this.
for
When
this
you-
country.
First of all, we have to define the we. Are we ready? We internationally, or we as males, or we as a country? You
as
see
a
what I'm s-
country.
As a country. Now,
absolutely.
first of all, you got to remember that even though I'm not a huge supporter of Condoleezza Rice, and I'm not a huge supporter of a lot of stuff that goes on. But look, listen to this. When Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice went overseas, they met with Saudi princes and
Right.
kings, right? Saudi Arabian kings. And they did not wear headgear, and they did not cover their faces. And so that speaks to the authority that God has given them,
Okay.
right, in their current station. So I think they'll do fine, and Hillary will be fine as president. Her problem won't be around the world. Her problem will be around
Right here.
Washington.
I hear you, right here in
Okay.
America.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
This-
So this was one of the statements made. I like Mexico. I love Mexican people. I do business with the Mexican people. But you have people coming through the border that are from all over, and they're bad. They're really bad, he told CNN's Jake Tapper.
Really bad.
And
He has a third grade vocabulary, doesn't he?
Yeah,
really,
it's like
he
a
does, doesn't he?
8-letter
Yes.
limit.
I am for traditional marriage. What is traditional marriage?
What is it? I mean, is he the same guy that filed bankruptcy 4 times? Is this the guy, he does all these things, yet he's a smart businessman using the system, right?
Well, he's filed bankruptcy 4 times. The airlines have failed. The
Yeah.
hotels have failed.
The college has failed.
colleges has failed.
His marriages have failed.
So the marriages have failed. So but the idea of him still being able to capture.
Well, what
a
he's
certain
capturing is,
segment
what is he
of
capturing?
America.
The fear, he's capturing a lot of skinheads. the Ku Klux Klan, which he won't disavow. You know, he has all of them on his side. He has everybody who hates everything about hating, but he has a ceiling. He can't get beyond 40% in the general election. Right now, he's getting some numbers now, but it's what he says. Like when he's at a rally and he says, "I wish I could punch somebody in the face." He's signaling his people. If somebody gets out of line,
Absolutely.
punch him in the face. There was a fight at one of his events today. They had to arrest somebody.
Really?
Yeah. So it's sad.
So one of his other sayings was, "I have a good wife now. My first 2 wives were very good, and I don't blame them, but I was working 22 hours a day." You have a good wife now, though.
Now.
Which
So this is the same centerfold wife that is
Nude all over.
Nude all over the
If that was
place.
Michelle Obama, then what?
right, exactly.
So, but you know what hurts me is that, and what bothers me is when folks meet in Washington, they're talking about 5 things. They're talking about income, they're talking about education, health care, and they're talking about housing, and they're talking about justice. But no one is really talking about anything of substance. And
absolutely
nobody's
correct.
talking about anything transformative or relational in the sense that it will mean that we who are deprived, or we who do not have access, we who are less than, least thought about, and left out, how are we going to honestly participate in this system? You know what I mean? The vote is the only thing that we have that we say we can cast and be heard.
Right.
In the sense that unless you have to go the civil disobedience route, where you just protesting, you know, the Black Lives Matter.
Well, if you choose Bernie Sanders' sides and you just believe everything he's saying, I mean, it's a lot of hope talk, but you know, realize you got to go through 400 people in the House of Representatives, 100 senators. You got to do all these things because if they could have been done, Obama would have got it done. Believe
To
me.
me, that's pork and rhetoric. With Bernie's talking pork and rhetoric, and he knows it. Whenever a person gets in office, there's the campaigning piece.
That's right.
Right? And then there's the piece that you have to, we have the insurance commissioner here tonight, and I'm sure she'll tell you that when she campaigns, she has to campaign. She has to develop relationships.
Right.
Right.
And people have to trust her.
Yeah.
Now, once she gets in the office, she has to learn what's been going on in the office.
That's
And she
right.
has to learn there's going to be some things she can do and some things she can't do, right? Not to even talk about the team that's around you. President is just a person, an individual who manages the affairs of the greatest country in the world.
Right.
That's all the president does. But most of the time, the folks that are dangling the strings are the folks, you know, that are big interest, big power.
Well,
big
you know,
structure.
we didn't mention
That
the fact that
1%.
Hillary, she ran right through Bernie Sanders in South Carolina.
She did.
She almost beat him by 50 percentage points.
Of course.
Super Tuesday is tomorrow. You got it several states. I expect her to win just about every one of those states. And it says she's moving up in the numbers in his own home state. I expect Cruz to win Texas. I think that Donald Trump will win most of these states on Super Tuesday. I think what you're going to find, what's going to happen is Cruz and Rubio on the Republican side are going to have to come together. Kasich and the other guy, Ben, where's Ben?
Where's Waldo?
You know, they're going to have to get out of the race.
Carr,
Then you're going to see the numbers shift because the establishment of the Republican Party, they don't want Trump in. But leave him in, it's better for Hillary to win. Anything else on the women's part? I know did you cover all that? I mean,
I just believe that everybody needs to start paying attention to the presidential race.
so
because
are you ready for a lady, a woman?
I
president?
am, absolutely I am. You
What
know,
does
and
that mean to you?
That's what I was telling you about the we.
The we.
Now,
Yeah,
the women we.
Yeah, she
are
started
well,
like
the
that.
country, the country. I was very specific about that, the country.
Right,
But you know, when we look at North America, we have 7.8 million women-owned businesses that are
Right.
non-farm right here in our own
That's
country,
good.
right?
Okay.
And so let's get it right, the right we are more than capable of running
Absolutely.
this country.
So my whole thing is this year, what we have seen is that Michelle Obama has been a very supportive, has been one of the best, if not the best, first lady that has ever been in that White House.
Classy.
She has been very classy.
A mother,
She has
Absolutely.
been. She
a
showed
wife.
her mother's.
She's been a
yes.
mother, a wife, a first lady.
Yes.
Yes.
Restored
Yes.
dignity to
Yes.
the White
Yes.
House, and she did it with
Class.
Class,
And
absolutely.
amidst all the attacks, this president has had 4 times the threats
Yes.
on his life than any president in the history of this country. Unfounded. You tell me how a person climbs the fence and ends up in the White House. I've never heard of anything.
They
Never heard
usually
of
shot. If it was a white president, they would have been shot.
But what people got to really realize is that you have to focus on the candidate who's been there, where you think they will take you,
Right.
and
And the
you
only
know, don't get caught up. Don't believe the hype.
That's right.
Don't believe the hype.
The only way you can measure that is based on facts or their track record.
Right.
You have to definitely do your research and become more knowledgeable about what candidate would be a better fit for
That's
this
right.
Can I do
country.
a commercial? Someone texted and wanted to know how to get involved with the violence reduction piece Friday at 10 o'clock. Friday at 10 o'clock, we'll be meeting at the Porter Center, which is at 8th and, what is that, 8th and Washington?
8th and Washington.
8th and Washington, right
Then
there.
I got
Porter
one.
State Service Center.
I got one quick one before we go to Nicole. Don't forget this, the annual Delta Kappa Phi
Hey, man,
Saturday,
you
12
better
o'clock.
say that loud and proud when you say
You're
Delta, boy.
No, this is Delta Kappa.
Oh.
Saturday,
You better
12
go-
noon.
You see all this red floating around here?
They're going to Judith Morton, is chairperson. They're having a luncheon. This is their 15th annual luncheon, and you can get in touch with the Delta Kappa Road Chapter, Wilmington, Delaware. You can call 738-5691, 738-5691, and we're going to go right to Nicole.
I hope that you have enjoyed this edition of The Bottom Line. When I tell you that we are giving you news that's real, relevant, and revealing, I hope that you believe me. As we get closer to the presidential election, we're going to continue to share information with you. And as you notice, we all don't agree. But you leave from this show more informed than when you started. So I just thank all of the crew that are in the house tonight, Captain Charles, Elder Ty, Shakeem, and Deneen. And want to also thank our special guest, State Commissioner Karen Weldon Stewart. And what I failed to mention during my interview with her is that number, 302-674-7300, you can call if you need more information, if you have a complaint, or if you suspect fraud. They take care of all of that. So again, we've had a great February with you, and we are excited about March, which starts tomorrow. Who knows what we will be talking about next Monday. I think we're going to do a health section. We need to get back to our health section. So again, my name is Nicole D. Surrett, and on behalf of the Bottom Line crew and the Channel 28 crew, thank you so much for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next Monday, same time, same place. Take care.